Check. And we be back.
Beats Planet.
Yo, listen, Chad, let me tell you something, man. I don't know if it's just the luck that we have, and I don't know if it's, you know what I mean, some people that may be into the zodiac thing, they may be into the tarot card, you know what I mean, Jupiter's in retrograde or something, so that means technology's messing up. But this is a couple days in a row we've had technical difficulties, and I blame Scott. That's it. That's the only explanation. That's the only possible reason that I can think of that makes sense to me. But you know what? We're gonna make it all work at the end of the day. We're here with another episode of Voch Lombardi Live, covering training camp, all that good stuff. Give y'all an hour of some flames and content. I'm your host.
You are watching a master at work.
The Lombardicus. Hey man, listen, yo, that volume 306 show was a little spiffy yesterday, wasn't it? It was a little spiffy yesterday, wasn't it? Y'all go check those out. I'll be dropping links pretty soon. And I'm being point guarded by the best in the business. Will Steele. Now you know your ass is Willie. What's good with you, sir?
Chill. Everybody go.
See. I shouldn't have held
couldn't
off.
Hear me. I said I wanted y'all to. I wanted you to hold off on that shirt. I want that right now.
Well, see, the problem is you don't want me to hold off from a marketing standpoint. You want me to hold off because you're impatient.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Because the shirt's so fire. You know what I mean? It's just you just want it on your skin right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's my shirt. I want it now.
But technically, though, if we take into account the people that's gonna cop the shirt and shipping and all that, you will technically get yours first. So just hang tight, my guy. You know what I mean? And I don't know why you're in a rush to, you know what I mean? Shelley's just gonna take from you anyway, but it is what it is.
This is true.
I mean, you're gonna get a couple good wears out of it, you know what I mean?
This is true.
Before you had to turn it over, you had to turn it over to the authorities, you know what I mean?
You're not lying. I done lost my Austin 316 shirt to my son, and she got my hoodies and that. Yeah, it's
a sad story, man. I hate to hear that, man. You know, it is what it is. We just gonna move on to the next topic, so I ain't got to cry over that. You feel me? We got some good Cowboy work for y'all today. Of course, training camp is going on. We're gonna be covering that. We got a series of tweets to share with you guys, and we got some good sound clips that we're gonna run. We're gonna run the sound clips first. This is a very interactive show. We got some things to do today, so we're gonna be we're not gonna hang around too long, so try to get in and get out with your life, but if you want to call into the show, the number is 202-926-1127, access code 309104. It'll be right there on the screen for you whenever you're ready for it. I'm gonna start with some of these sound clips, man. I love to pull the player interviews, the media joints, and you know, sometimes if you know, we just listen to some of these miscellaneous interviews, they may ask bad questions or repetitive questions, but it's always something that we could take away from it. Let's start with DeMarcus Lawrence. I got DeMarcus Lawrence and Jalen Tolbert today. Actually, it's like 30 interviews on DallasCowboys.com, but we have to make this content stretch until the regular season starts. So we're just going to slowly pick these interviews apart. Let's start with DeMarcus Lawrence today. Go back to my notes page here. Once again, you know, whenever media gets a chance to talk to DeMarcus Lawrence, they love to marvel and they do the Home Alone face palm about how much weight he's lost. And, oh, D-Law, you're slim. Look at you, sir. Look at you, sir. And D-Law kind of went into some details about some of the weight that he's lost, but I think that there was a little tidbit in that answer that he said that was pretty important. Also, pardon me, shouts out to everybody watching on the volume side, but then shouts out to the people on the Voch Lombardi side over there. It's been a minute since we've heard from y'all, but we appreciate y'all for. I'm kind of upset that y'all didn't come to the volume side when it's time to come to the volume side, but it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in anyway. D-Law, talk to us about this offseason in particular and the work that you've been putting in, sir.
Yeah, you know, just having a full off season of training instead of recovering. You know, I can focus more on my weight and, you know, being more lean instead of, you know, trying to recover from an injury. So, you know, just the healthiest I've been and just trying to continue to grow.
So, care about DeMarcus Lawrence looking slim, you know, too much care about the fact that he's, you know, trimmed down a little bit, because, you know, whatever size D-Law is going to end up being, there's going to be Dan Quinn taking whatever he's good at and they're just going to apply it to that situation. So it's all going to work out anyway. But what I loved about what he said was he's training instead of recovering. You understand? That's the part that I like the most. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about, hey, we want these younger guys to get big and swole, but you know, the older some of these guys get, we want them to kind of slim down, trim down a little bit. But D-Law, he hurt his foot in the Tampa Bay game, and he kind of got hurt for the whatever. And I saw this one tweet,
actually, bro.
Yeah, in practice, cool. Yeah. I saw this one tweet by this one character, Will Steele, and I'm just so much different now as an old 30-year-old than I used to be when I first started at 25, because I was about to retweet that character and just lambast him. You know what I mean? I was just about to smack him upside the head because he was like, D-Law is overrated. And I was about to hit him with a list of reasons why D-Law is not overrated, but it looks like he follows me and he's a fan of me, so I ain't really want to like smack him upside the head like that. But bro, D-Law got hurt, came back, and in 6 games, he gave you 3 sacks, 3 turnovers, which was 2 forced fumbles and an interception, a touchdown. Motherfucker got more touchdowns than Noah Brown, and 5 pass deflections. You know what I mean? We gotta stop sleeping on D-Law, right? And he hasn't always had this opportunity to have these off seasons, right? We'll see. He'll have back surgery or something like that. Like, it's always something that was kind of keeping D-Law from practicing. He gets the camp now, right? He gets that full-blown training camp. He gets to stack on top of that success that he had last year, on top of this new success that he's going to get, this new training that he's going to get. I expect D-Law to show up and still be that demon in the run game, and for reasons that we're going to talk about later, I think he's going to get back to his sack numbers. I'm not guaranteeing that he's getting to double-digit sacks or anything like that. But I do think he'll be up. I think 9 is fair. I think 8 to 9 is a good baseline for him, and he has the ceiling to get back in double digits, right, Will? Still,
I'm about to say D-Law or Dante Fowler, most sacks.
D-Law probably get more. D-Law, I don't know, because D-Law go out there and start tearing shit up, he'll turn back into one of those double team dudes. Dante Fowler got it smooth out here. You know what I mean? There's Micah, there's D-Law, and then Dante is just going to go out here and just roll against some miscellaneous dude that's not going to double team him with any help like that. But I'm happy to see D-Law getting his work in, as opposed to him, going through, rehab and doing the cores. And, like let's get your feet under you now, so that when it's time to get to week 1, that'll be fun. I want to skip over one of these and go to this timestamp right here in particular. We don't always hear the players talk about the playoff game, the San Fran game, or, the D lineman, because, D lineman and the D lineman, both linemen, actually, they were the ones that got picked on the most, and they were some of the reasons why we lost the game. Dak wasn't perfect, run game wasn't perfect, but the big boys on both sides got bullied. So they asked D-Law about the San Francisco game. And Will still just kind of sat back in his chair, so I would love to see what he got to say about this. This is what D-Law had to say.
Yeah, but it's okay to talk about the San Francisco game, because that leaves a mark on our skin, and helps us to understand that we still got a spot to grow. Had a great year last year. A lot of guys stepped up. A lot of guys found their identity in the defense, and also, being able to come back for a second year under DQ's system, heightens our awareness of, where we need to be. So I feel like it's going to be a great year. I feel like we still got a lot of growing to do, but we'll get there throughout this training camp.
Now, Will, still, you sat back and you was frustrated and you turned red just a little bit. Did you have something to say before I get started?
No, I just went back and I watched that game, and I was like, I'm bored. Let me just watch it. I got to the second quarter, and I said, I can't do this no more. Can't put myself through it. It's not a fun game to rewatch, bro.
Yeah, pretty soft. Guys were pretty soft that game. I feel got pushed around a little bit. What I like about what D-Law said was he said that guys kind of found their way. They found their way in the defense. Just over the years, right? Or just last year, he was saying, yeah, we had a good year last year, and then over the year, guys found their way. And to me, that means, okay, Malik was a guy that cemented himself as a free safety here. JK is a guy that's kind of cemented himself. Micah Parsons being that dude when D-Law comes back, when Neville's healthy and not dealing with an elbow thing, he's going to be one of those dudes. Osa's going to be a guy. You know what I'm saying? So we always talk about going against, the Bucks last year, that week 1 game last year, Will still, that we didn't have that level of established dudes. Like, we were still trying to run Keanu Neal around. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Keanu Neal, what you got, player? And, just as the season went on, it was like,
basically, fuck them.
Keanu Neal, that is, you know what I mean? But, we just slowly but surely just found our way. So when he talks about year 2 under Dan, it's not just, okay, well, what's Dan going to look like next year? It's, okay, well, this is J. Ron's spot. Sorry, Donovan, but that's J. Ron's spot. Donovan's going to play a lot, though, but, you know what I'm saying, y'all, you know what I'm saying, get where I'm coming from. But that's Malik's spot. Micah's going to be all over. We know how we're going to use Micah now. Last year was us figuring out how Micah's going to be one of the most dominant players in the league. Still. Now we know how to make now we know how to make Micah one of the most dominant players in the league. And that's going to start day 1. You know what I'm saying?
Day 1.
So I like what he was saying there. Go ahead.
It'll start day 1. Last year, Micah Parsons dropped back 29 times against Tom Brady. That was the third most all year. He will not be doing that in week 1.
He dropped back 29 times?
29 times. He
dropped back. We're going to rush 29 times.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to rush 29 times. If you had to guess, right, percentage-wise, what percentage, like in one game, in one Micah Parsons game, out of his 50, 60 snaps, what percentage of that is going to be pass rushing?
I think it depends on the game, right? Like, if you're blowing them out, it could be 70-30. If it's a closely contested game and you're playing the Titans, they're going to run the rock, right? So that might flip. It might go 40-60. He's playing the run versus the pass, or playing the pass versus the run. So I think it's going to be game by game.
Sure. Fair enough. This is more D-Law on the defensive improvement going into year 2.
I think, just really understanding those first 15 plays, You know, once you understand what you're going to get in those first 15 plays, you're going to, you know, understand the whole game. So, you know, being able to, you know, hyphen our awareness on those plays will bring us closer to the steps that we need to take.
I heard you going Will Steele, and I never heard that from a defensive player before. I used to coach offense, so I know why we did it. But I would love to hear your thoughts before I get into that. When you went what was on your mind when you went Will
The first thing I said when I watched that San Fran game was, God damn it, that first 15 from San Fran was beautiful. Yeah. It was beautiful. And you hear how he said that first 15 set you up for the rest of the game. Well, what you think the Niners did the rest of that game? They tried to run the ball. And when they needed to, you know, something, they went back to those plays that worked with Deebo Samuels in the opening drive and Elijah Mitchell. So, you know, that's why I was sitting here like, damn, you know, I love the first 15. There's coordinators that have great first 15s. We're still working on that a little bit, and San Fran was one. But he's right, man. That sets the tone.
And there's a reason why the first 15 plays are planned out. You know what I mean? I got this big shoebox full of old like call sheets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just show them one day to y'all or whatever. But it's the first 15 plays. Scripted. It's always scripted. It's always in order, and we never deviate from that order. If we get to the second drive and we didn't pull it off, we scrap the first 15. And there's a reason why we do that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a chess match. We want to see what works. We want to see, you know, how we can set you up. We want to know what we can pull off on you later. You know what I mean? We may just throw a deep pass somewhere. We may not be trying to connect it. Let me find out somebody can't run with somebody. Okay, we'll just let you forget that. And we'll come back third quarter, and that may be 7 or 6, because shit, Garibay and Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? So that's 6. You know what I mean? And what San Fran did in those first, you know, that first drive or whatever, like, this how y'all gonna be? Like this what the business is? This how y'all doing? And even on the other side, they realize that, hey, we can get pressure with just 5, with just 3, no blitzing. Oh, that's a wrap for y'all. And that's how the tone gets set throughout the rest of the game. So I thought that was important for, you know, somebody that, you know, maybe watching, because these audiences, and look, I love my audience, shouts out to y'all, but everybody has a different level of football understanding. You know, some people may be super casual and not know why the first 15 or so plays are important, you know, but some of y'all coached football before, some of y'all played football, y'all know why. So, that's just that. One more thing that I thought was interesting from D-Law before we move on to Jalen Tolbert, before we move on to Twitter. This is very interesting because y'all know D-Law is very prideful. Y'all know that D-Law came out and he basically did his verbal call out. Yo, Micah, I want my sack record back, and we all know better. We all know better. We know D-Law is not gonna be you know, the top guy in sacks on this team anymore. When somebody asked D-Law, hey, man, what's it going to be like working off of all of the attention that Micah Parsons is going to get, right? And a part of D-Law want to be like, man, I don't need no one-on-ones, dog. They can double team me just like they used to, dog. I don't give a fuck about all this attention Micah Parsons getting. But if you keep listening to the clip, man, D-Law will be like, yeah, but I love to get back to double-digit sacks, though, boy. It'll be lovely to not get double teamed as much. Let's listen to the clip, and y'all can discern that for yourself.
I think it will keep offenses honest, but you don't never want to jump to, you know, assumptions and think it's going to be like that all the time.
This is pride
so,
talk.
You know, just prepare for the worst, you know, and hopefully they do you know, focus on Micah a little bit more.
Beyond the physical stuff.
Just, hey, man, we don't want to rely on nobody double teaming Micah.
Yeah.
We don't want to just roll out the game plan assuming that they just going to double team Micah, but
yeah, I hope they do.
It'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool for once to not get chipped and double team and these rubs on the side and get crack blocked from, you know what I mean? It'd be cool. It'd be nice.
Let me get Storm Norton for a week. Yeah, man, you can bring Storm Norton on over here.
Come on, man. From the Chargers, hilarious was it? But yeah, man, like D-Law not crazy, man. D-Law sick of all. He you can't be prideful alpha guy no more. It's over. It's over, young lion. We love you, D-Law, and I still think DeMarcus Lawrence is a fantastic player. I think he's amazing. It's Micah season, man. It is Parsons season, sir. Sorry to hear that. It's what it is. Let's get into Jalen Tolbert. Then we're going to get into some of them tweets. We ain't got much from Jalen Tolbert. We just got 2 of them. And one of these clips, this was a clip from the 27th, but it's still is still relevant, with the title of the video and what we're going to end up talking about today with the tweets or whatnot. But Jalen Tolbert talks about fielding punts. See what he had to say about that.
Have a background on returning punts. I didn't really do it as much in college just because I was more of a punt safe guy, but definitely can catch it. And I think it comes from my baseball background as well. So just tracking the ball in the air seems natural to me.
Now, see, Will, still, this is what we was talking about, the problem with Turpin, right? And Turpin seems to be an electric little motherfucker. I just saw some of the little clips of him, just you know what I mean? But he is 5'7"-ish. He's shorter than you. He is 155. He weighs less than you. And he doesn't have a defined role on this offense yet. You understand? And that's basically what he's fighting. So now we look at these guys. We look at like TP, right? Like TP playing kick return makes sense to us, but he can also make this team as a running back. Tolbert, you don't want TP. Okay, cool. Let's talk. Tolbert being a guy that could, field punts for you, right? But he has a spot on this team as an offensive player. So we were just kind of talking about what Turpin's going to have to do in order to make his hay. I mean, yeah, you could be, like I said, if he's a Devin Hester type return man, then fine. We'll just find a way to, get him on the roster. We'll just fit him in there somewhere and just, just go from there, figure it out from there. But if he can't do anything for us offensively and he's not going to be a Devin Hester type, then I can see a world where Tolbert's your punt guy and where Tony is your kick return guy. But I'm looking at Will Steele, right? Can I guess why your face is like that, Will Steele?
Sure.
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Sure.
Because James Washington hurt already, and we don't need no more harm for Jalen Tolbert or Tony Pollard, because those are some of the only receiving options we got.
They could sit down for all I give a damn at this point in camp. No, seriously, you need Jalen Tolbert out there to get the reps. But that baseball background is definitely key. You watch this film, the deep ball, he's good at tracking the rock deep. I hope Turpin can bring something offensively, bro, because we don't have that type of speed. You know what I mean? On the roster right now. But yeah, you just I don't like the idea of Tolbert being a punt returner, and I understand TP took one to the crib last year. But I'm looking at TP to get more touches, so I don't even want him on special teams. So I hope Turpin's the guy. I think he will be, though.
Somebody got to play, dog. Somebody got to do it. The only problem with Turpin on offense is I don't want it to be so predictable with him. Like whenever Turpin get the ball, it's a jet sweep, screen, something quick. You know what I mean? Like some gadget play.
He didn't have anything but jet sweeps and quick shit.
I will say though, I would rather Turpin run jet sweeps than Jordan Lewis. You know what I mean? Because I remember where we came from. I remember where we came from. Jordan Lewis running jet sweeps out this bitch, and we was like, let's see what Jay Lou can do.
Why not TP?
Oh, goodness.
Why not running doing two back set?
I want TP playing running back. We're gonna show some of these tweets later, but I want TP. I don't want TP being subjected to jet sweep guy, because I think. Yeah. I think he's one of the best running backs in the league. Will still, and you know what I mean. That's gonna take.
I like it.
Well, Cowboy fans gonna hate me. Boy, they always call me optimistic vibes, boy. But and Jalen Tolbert said some other shit. Let's just move on from my little quote. See what the chat box talking about. Jalen Tolbert talks about his extra work that he put in with Dak Prescott.
We definitely built some chemistry. It was fun to hang out, and also get great work in. We trained at University of Miami a couple of days and, had extensive route sessions. And, that was the goal of going to Miami, is to work on time and get everything on the same page. So when we came out here to training camp, we can be, fire and ready to go.
And we need them. I pulled up YouTube to see if I can see what y'all talking about on the Voch Lombardi side, but phones make noise, so my bad. We need him. We need Tolbert, man. We need Tolbert to be one of them dudes, man. Like at first, and so look, this is fair now, right? Because at one point people was like, "Yo, Voch, that's putting too much pressure on Tolbert," and I was like, "Man, it's not pressure, man. Tolbert's gonna be the third wide receiver, man. It's guaranteed Tolbert is number 2 guy for at least 5 weeks." You know what I mean? So that is a little bit of pressure. And the first 5 weeks or however many weeks, is Buccaneers, Bengals, Giants, Commanders, Rams. 3 out of them games are huge games
Yeah.
for us. And if we're gonna be talking about playing for a bye week or something like that, those some of the teams that we need to beat. Buccaneers and Rams mostly. Go ahead.
And to boot, think about this: the Rams and the Bucs are really good run stopping teams. So you're going to be going into that game most likely having to throw a little bit. I know we want to lean on the run, Voch. I totally understand that. But
Sure.
It's not going to be easy to run against those teams. If I'm not mistaken, the Rams were top 5 last year, top 10, and then the Bucs, they just went out got Akeem Hicks to go with Vita Vea, Devin White,
Sure.
That whole situation with Todd Bowles. So, you're talking about possibly having to get into a throwing situation with Noah Brown as wide receiver 2 potentially, or Jalen Tolbert off the bat, and CD Lamb. We might have to temper our expectations in regards to explosiveness and kind of matriculate down the field, right? Dalton Schultz, CD Lamb, possession, and then punch it in with the run if you can down there. But we might have to temper our pass game expectations early.
But you know what? Even if we have to do it for a little bit, I kind of don't mind the idea of material.
I think it's matriculating. If I said that right, I got that from is it the Chiefs? The Chiefs' old school head coach. It's a famous line. He says, "Matriculate down the field." Yeah, but yeah,
trickle. Yeah, them trickling down.
We got to trickle down there.
Yeah, trickle. If that's how I got to be for a little bit, I don't mind that because I think Dak is a dude that's, that can do that. Because look, the more we lose receivers, man, the more I'm just looking at Fo like, hey, Fo, man, just save us, man. Just save us till Gallup get back, and we just promise, man, we'll just figure this out. Before we move on to tweets, do you foresee I feel like we have to. I don't think there's any other way. But do we have to go find some outside help, or do we try to lean on Semi and Noah? Because apparently Semi and Noah are not having bad camps. But
I have good camps.
Yeah,
I think I don't know how you don't go out, but according to my man Brian B, he said Jerry went on the radio, or it was told on the radio that they have no plans on signing a receiver at this moment. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it. But right now, I think they're doing the Stephen Jones thing. Hey, we're going to get to camp, see what we got, and let's roll. And here's the problem with that. Sure, if Semi and Noah look great in camp, what happens when they get hands put on them against the Rams and against the Bucs and things like that? So maybe they're waiting until the Denver Bronco practice where it's an opposing team is starting to put hands on you. But right now, according to 105.3, they're not looking to sign anybody.
Let me ask you this. What's more important for Dak Prescott running his offense? Is it more talented dudes, or is it dudes knowing Dak and being in the right place where he wants them to be? Familiarity, right? Let's just say that. So we could go get a T.Y. Hilton or a Will Fuller. Those dudes are more talented than Noah and Semi, right? But is it more valuable to get the dudes that are familiar with Dak, like Noah and Semi? Like Noah and Semi are more familiar with Dak, you know what I mean? So they kind of know how Dak operates. Dak knows where they're going to be, how they're going to be there. Or do we get somebody that's talented, but Dak don't really know how they move, how their body mechanics are, where they want the football, how they catch? Like, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like what's more important for Dak? And chat box, y'all can answer too. Go ahead, Will.
I don't think having that, I don't want to say chemistry, but that familiarity is really crazy.
I should say chemistry, sure.
Because he went out, they got Amari Cooper middle of the season, and they connected. Randall Cobb was a brand new cat, and he had a great season with Dallas. CD Lamb was a rookie. He had damn near 1,000 yards. Well, again, he clicked with Dak early on. You know what I'm saying? He was leading the league in slot receiving yards. So there's proof out there that Dak doesn't necessarily need to have some guy that he's been on the same team with for 5 years, right? So, I'd say talent. Get me the talent, and then because he's talented, they'll make it work.
Fair enough. Get a guy like T.Y. Hilton in here, and he's just flopping around. He just all the routes all off, and Dak start cussing him out.
Well, the problem is you're shopping at Walmart at this point.
That's the problem. And that's another point too, though. Like, would you rather just roll with what you got at this point? Because look, we can't say, because I see Cowboys saying this all the time. Oh my God, James Washington is hurt. Let's go get Odell Beckham. Motherfucker, James gonna be back before Beckham is.
Yeah, Beckham's not gonna help you right now.
Be back before Beckham is.
Yeah.
Beckham does nothing for you right now, so you might as well.
I mean,
You know what
I think they need to
know.
get a body in here, not just any old body, but they need to get an able body with some talent. Like, if you're going to play the Stephen Jones game, right, a guy that may be injury prone, cheap, has some talent, and see what you can get out of him. There's those dudes. There's those dudes in there in the free agent market. But the problem is, you ain't getting 15, 16, 17 games out of Will Fuller and Cole Beasley, probably not. And who was the other one we just talked about? Odell and come on,
Odell, yeah.
Ty, you ain't getting.
And then
15
honestly,
games.
too, man, like we could just lean on the run. So any dude that we bring in, they only gonna get like what 3 catches, like 4 catches per game, maybe. Depends.
It depends. It depends. Do you look at one of those guys coming in here beating out Noah Brown?
Sure.
If so, then he's in your top 3.
Look at how far we've come, man. Noah Brown
That's
had
a wide receiver 2 now.
What was the number? He had a whopping 18 catches for 150 something yards. And now we're saying, is that dude better than T.Y. Hilton? Is that dude better than Will Fuller? Boy, where we at, man? Yeah. We need to draft. We need to just have another draft.
Let's have another draft.
Just have a whole other draft. just bring in some new people. Whatever. Let's do this, man. Let's get in this Twitter wheel still. Let's do this. Sick of this. Let's pull up this tweet from Killen Moore. He was talking about John Ridgeway. Now, when I was at Oxnard last year, one thing that I leaned on that I thought was super important was whoever Dan Quinn pulls to the side, that's what we got big hopes for. You know what I'm saying? And Michael was a Dan Quinn pull to the side guy. D-Law was a Dan Quinn pull to the side guy, right? Oso was a Dan Quinn pull to the side guy. And we saw good things from all those players. Why? Because, Dan Quinn has roles for those guys. He has, let me pause this. Did Killen Moore block you on Twitter too, Will Steele?
No, did he block you?
He blocked me because yesterday we couldn't find Ed Werder's tweet because he had you blocked. Does
no.
Landon McCool?
No, Landon ain't blocked me.
All right, cool. But anyway, so yeah. So everybody that Dan Quinn pulled to the side, he had plans for those guys, right? So what was interesting was, and I'm talking about last year right now, one of the dudes that Dan Quinn pulled to the side was Brent Urban. I was like, okay, I wonder what that's about. You know what I'm saying? He pulled Brent Urban to the side, and I would imagine because he had big hopes for Brent Urban. And the more I watched camp, I never saw him pull Bohanna to the side. I never saw him pull Carlos to the side. He ain't pull, Tristan to the side, nothing like that. But it was Brent Urban because he had plans for Brent. So when we come into 2022 camp, we see him pull D-Law to the side. Will Steele, we go, oh shit. We see him pull Micah to the side. Billy D. Sam, Osa gets pulled to the side. There's no Brent Urban, but that motherfucker pulled John Ridgeway to the side. Will Steele. Now, once again, not Bohanna, not Carlos, not even Tristan. Will Steele, do you foresee this year? Because in the future, we know the John Ridgeway thing is going to be super important in the future, right? But this year, do you think Dan Quinn sees something in John Ridgeway that he can make an immediate impact like that?
He gonna have the opportunity. Bohanna and Urban played, a lot of snaps last year, and what's not Woods? What's the other cat? Hamilton. Those one techs, they play a lot of snaps. So I think he's looking at it like, hey, we're going to be counting on you, big fella. I hope he's not counting on him to be like the savior, but they're going to need productivity out of him. Good snap. So yeah, come on over here. We need to work. Get you ready.
Come over and get this work, player. Let's jump around a little bit. Not that we're not gonna go there yet. Our buddy Jeff Kavanaugh. Shouts out to Jeff, man. We love Jeff. We love Jeff to pieces. Jeff says Zeke looks good. Pollard looks awesome. Burst was a different level of burst. Now we knew that already, Will Steele. We already knew that. You know what I mean? But Jeff ain't the only one that's been saying this. Like, we've always felt like Tony was a little more bursty. You know what I'm saying? He was the more bursty back. But now we're using words like, yo, Tony just looking better right there. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't a situation to put Tony on the field and put Zeke on the bench. This ain't that. This ain't what we're talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's something. And the more I keep scrolling, I saw this Jory Epstein tweet that says, catch him if you can. Tony Pollard edition. I sent that one to you too, Will, still. And I actually got a chance to look at Tony Pollard running around a little bit. And I was like, I did that exactly. Like my elbows were bent and they was T-Rexing and my hands came together and my neck went away. I've been losing weight, so I've been working so hard to get my neck back, Will, still. I worked so hard to get my neck back. But when I saw Tony running on that Jory Epstein tweet, I went, Tony ready, cuz. Tony ready.
They got Tony messed up, man.
And Will, if we get to a point, look at him. He looked bigger too. Like he looked, you know what I mean? Like he ain't never been small besides his rookie year or whatever. But like he just peanut butter, maybe like you can make this a peanut butter wash for Tony Pollard, man. But just that motherfucker, he ready, Will, still. And when I say Tony Pollard gonna be one of the best running backs in the league, I'm not bullshitting, Will, still. All he needs is opportunity. All he needs is opportunity, Will. Now, I ain't saying Zeke need to.
You ain't gonna get me to argue with you on TP, man. TP can
we're not
literally
arguing,
be.
Just rejoicing.
No. I'm just saying, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
TP can literally be your Alvin Kamara if you use them in the same way.
I mean, look at him, Will. All he need, and I ain't saying that Zeke need to get caught at the border with some cocaine in his trunk. El Chapo. I'm not saying. But if we had to live in a world where it's just Tony, I'm going to bring this back up to you, Will, still. Now, this ain't the time of year where we got to repeat shit because we got news, but you sure we can't re-sign this guy and just pull an Austin Eckler? You know what I mean? We shouldn't be re-signing no running backs, Will, still. I know. Mm-hmm. I see the look on your face. Will, still. But you sure we? You know what I'm saying?
Is the money going to work?
$4 million? $4 million.
Ain't gonna be no like 4. If think about it, the time to see what you had with TP, I think he's getting closer to 9. But I can go look.
Close to 9.
If the time to get TP situated was last year, like give TP a ton of touches, see what you got, and see if you can extend him, right on a super cheap. Now think if TP goes off, you know. What make you think
you gotta pay him now?
Yeah, what make you think you getting you for the low?
Yeah, pay that motherfucker now.
Yeah.
Will still sent me a DM. Let me cut my music back on and make me feel better about this. Will still sent me a DM, and it was from his colleague over at A to Z Dallas, Mauricio. And I looked at the fucking tweet and it was in Spanish, and I was like, Will, perfect. I was like, Will, what is this? Why is it in?
It was Michael Gelkin's tweet.
Spanish? I get it, Will. Still, but
yeah.
I'm telling my story. I saw it and it was in Spanish. I was like, what the fuck this mean? I even translated it. I was like, what is this? What the fuck you sending me Spanish for? Is this you working on your Spanish? But it was a response to the Michael Gelkin tweet that you sent me, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and pull it up for us.
That's what I meant to send you. When I sent that.
What you said? I see what that shit's. Roll mission present to the studios. Presenta el escuela. Escueling. That's a little racist. I'm sorry, Maurice. Let me hit translate on that. Look, I hit translate on the Google joint, and it just put the same shit out. So Mauricio just making up Spanish words. All right, but I looked at it. And I was like, oh, okay. Right guard Zach Martin versus rookie nose tackle John Ridgeway. That's fun. That's interesting. But chat, let's not get lost in the sauce here. If y'all just take a look when this resets, right? If y'all just look, not at Ridgeway, but if you just look one player over to his right, that's Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill was actually the one that punched Tyler Biadasz in the chest, shedded the block, and went to go tackle Zeke. Now, Will still, I know yesterday in our feature presentation, we showed Tristan Hill getting smoked, but besides that, Tristan Hill hasn't been having a bad camp, Will still.
No, he's been flashing according to people down there.
So I'm going to ask you this now. Now that we got a little bit of visual with the pads on, how good of a Tristan Hill camp is it going to take to save his life? Because he's not cut for a reason, Will. Like we the front office hasn't moved on from him. Dan kind of rocked with him a little bit. They kind of mentor him a little bit. He has a role in his offense. This with the tools, I believe, Van Der Esch out there, J-Ron Kirk. So he rotating with the one, so he playing.
Oh yeah, he wasn't not going to play. I mean, he played last year.
Yeah.
Played a ton of snaps last year before he got submitted.
But it's like the only ones that want to move on. And look, to be fair, Zach did kind of smoke Ridgeway a little bit, but Cowboy fans want to be so fast to move on from Tristan, but I don't think the front office and
this is year 4.
Will is year 4, but y'all been trying to cut them off for 4 years. Will
no, we have not been trying to cut him for 4 years. We've been wanting Tristan to show up for 4 years, and if this is the year to do it, that's great. I hope so, but is he going to come
Let me
back?
tell you how I know people been trying to cut Tristan Hill for 4 years. Because 3 years ago, Tristan Hill did the interview. When they did the press availability. Hey, Tristan, how do you feel? Do you think you're in better shape this year? That you're ready for year 2? And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
okay, Tristan. What do you think about Rod Marinella's new scheme and how's it? It's cool. You know what I mean? He was pissed off at fans and media for a long time. Motherfuckers been trying to cut Tristan for a minute now. And he's always showed his talent or whatever. But hey, man, just this tweet necessarily ain't about Tristan, but I just keep seeing names. I keep seeing people talking about him. I keep seeing him. Tristan's having a good camp, man. I ain't gonna say whether we like it or not, because I don't mind. That's my son.
About to say, we gotta like it.
And if Tristan does well, it looks good on me. Y'all was impatient, but I don't know, man. I think he'll be fine. But so let me ask you this: who's gonna be the casualty if Tristan Hill keeps practicing well and he doesn't get cut from the team? Like, what D lineman or well, you said it, you always say that it wouldn't be a D lineman, but it'll be like the 5th linebacker or the 4th DB or something that gets kicked off or something like that.
It could be a D lineman, but it also could be that too. Carlos Watkins would be the D lineman, and then the others, if they decide to keep Carlos Watkins, it'd be a DB, running back, whatever.
Running low on time, but it's all good. But we might not even make it to the phones today. I apologize. Pull up the tweet with Malik Jefferson and Billy D. Sam Williams from Michael Gelkin. Says Cowboys line. Let me come and use it back on. Here we go. Michael Gelkin says Cowboys linebacker Malik Jefferson, formerly of Texas, and rookie defensive end Billy D. Sam Williams met at the quarterback for a sack. Williams working against swing tackle Josh Ball. Billy D been having a cool little camp, huh, Will, still? Just based on what we're seeing. And the funny thing about it is that I still don't think we're in this place to where we're looking at Billy D like he's going to be like a starter or nothing like that, or where he's going to be the first 3 defensive ends off the field. I still think he's going to be like the 5th or so guy behind Micah, D-Law, Dorrance, and he's kind of going to be fighting with like Dante, but I still think Dante is going to be a guy that's going to get more reps over him. But just based on some of the things that we've been seeing from Billy D is that he has natural traits, and those natural traits beating the shit out of Josh Ball right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, those natural traits may be good enough to to get him through in pass rush land. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to ask him to be a full-time player. DQ is going to have a plan for him where he's only going to pass rush. So, Will, do you have any thoughts on what you've been seeing from Billy D. Sam Williams in a camp so far?
Just seen the clips.
I can't wait to see him in person.
That's what I was about to say. I want to see it in person, but I only seen a few clips, and you could just see that natural athletic ability. He was one of the guys I said I got my antennas up on when the pads come on. Because look at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me pull this up so I can see this a little better. And then Michael Gelkin said that Malik Jefferson was out there. I feel like I ain't even see him. What the fuck he is? The thing I heard, he got trucked today. No, not Malik. That was Christian Sam. Christian Sam got
Christian
trucked.
Sam, yeah. Micah,
by Micah.
Micah was.
Micah.
Put Micah at receiver. Let's see. Why not? Let's
menace, man. Micah's a menace.
Micah's a menace, man. We were on a long time, so there was so you ain't got to pull these next two up, Will, still.
Okay.
There was a Semi tweet that went around, and I was going to talk about, hey, we're going to have to lean on Semi at some point. You know what I'm saying? And that was basically what I was saying earlier. Can we live in a world with Semi? Semi's having a pretty decent camp. That's another guy that we're going to keep eyes on when we actually get to camp. So we'll see about that. Dalton Schultz. Everybody's saying Dalton Schultz is going to get 100 catches and about 1,000 yards. Yeah. So with that being said, if Dalton Schultz is going to be your de facto wide receiver too, basically, we probably going to have to pay him like big money next year. You know what I mean? Like whatever little money was probably going to pick. We're going to tag him again?
Tag him again. If Dog
Hey,
Schultz
begin to,
come out here with 100 catches, 1,000 yards, and 10 tutties, they're not paying him $16 million a year. They're gonna tag him again for 13. That's how they gonna do it, man. You know how they do business.
I know how they do business. Will Steele, you ready for the feature presentation 2 days in a row? Goddamn
I don't even know what the feature presentation is today, so I'm a little bit surprised. What we got?
Got the let's see. I don't want to give it away here. Let me scroll up, see if I can see who the Clarence Hill tweet. Unless Clarence Hill got you blocked. I know Clarence Hill ain't got you blocked.
No. I just had Clarence on the show. I got you.
Go ahead and pull that one up. Still, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Our feature presentation. You got to watch the shit in Silencio also. Let me go ahead and cut this music down a little bit. Go ahead and cut this music down for a little bit and get ready to take look at this. Let's see. Look at this shit. Goddamn, boy. Just look at it. Just look at it. Now, Will Steele, yesterday they was like, oh, Voch is just Tristan Hill. That's not impressive. All right, okay. That's also Diggy Zor right there.
That's Osa, yeah.
That's Osa right there. Tomorrow's going to be fucking Neville or some shit. I don't know. Look at him. Just look. And look, the first thing that people said was everybody on Twitter saying two things. One, first of all, look at Tristan Hill looking over at Osa and the ground. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that was me. That was me, boy. I feel you. look at Tristan. Damn. Let me just mind my business. Look back over.
He was looking at Osa to see what he's gonna do. Yeah. Tristan felt that.
Oh, it happened to you too? All right, okay, cool. I feel better. Everybody on Twitter, they're saying one of two things, Will Steele. They're either saying, boy, look at Tyler Smith. He's fantastic. And then it's these other Cowboy fans, right, that look at this and they just automatically went to the bad side. Ain't that holding?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. No. Yeah.
But let me tell you why it's not. First of all, y'all should have played some offensive line. If a D lineman is swimming over the top of you, you have free permissions to punch him in the ribs, keep that arm on your shoulder, and finish him. That's what they teach us. That's how they teach us how to defeat swim moves. Let me give you another reason why it's not holding. If you look at Osa's chest and Tyler's chest, they stay square to each other. This not like Osa's trying to get away and Tyler's pulling to keep Osa square with him. They are just square to each other. So that is a squared up block that is not holding. Plus, they got referees out there, so y'all relax from home. Now, Will Steele, we always talk about how much physicality young Tyler Smith is going to bring to this offense and this offensive line, bro. This is what he gonna do on run plays, on run. We don't need no more receivers. We don't need no receivers, Will Steele. Just give me a fullback, give me two tight ends. I'm just gonna run the ball behind this motherfucker all day. Let's just run behind him all day. You know what I mean? Osa not no scrub. Osa's not no scrub, but he got his silver pants grassy just like Tristan Hill did. Just like him. I'm excited, Will Steele.
Yeah,
and then there's this other faction of Cowboy fans. You know, I can't stand Foots because Foots love to say how much he right. I can't wait to remind y'all how wrong y'all was about Tyler Smith. Foots, everybody likes Tyler Smith. It's where he was drafted and the people that was on the board,
right,
being the reason why you didn't draft him. That's the reason. Nobody looked at Tyler Smith and went, "Oh, that boy trash." Nobody did that. Nobody did.
Unless they put him at tackle, they would have some concerns there, but they didn't. Like his weaknesses, like I said, were mitigated by moving inside slightly. He still has to get his hands right, but he don't got to worry about being in space right now. Just focus on playing in that phone booth, and we see he can wrestle.
Matt Owen in the chat box says Tyler lost badly to Bohanna. Yes, I'm sipping Kool-Aid. Mind your business.
Happens. Rook's gonna get got.
Tyler Smith's undefeated at practice. I don't want to hear nothing else until I see for myself in Oxnard Tyler Smith is undefeated at practice. And if he's gonna give us one pancake per day, I'm with it, brother. I'm with it. Will Steele, you say 4:10 was your cutoff, or you trying to move on right now?
10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. Yeah.
4:10. All right, cool. We gonna play a little bit of clock game. I've been seeing people hopping on and off the phones. Oh man, we got all old people on the phone too. Oh jeez. Well, we got okay. this would be an interesting clock game today. This would be an interesting clock game. All right, so chat. We're gonna play a little bit of clock game. Y'all should know how clock game goes at this point. We're gonna put a minute on the clock. Now, everybody that's on the phone listening, Damon Kennedy, Danny Savage, Don Trail, and Uncle Charlie.
Oh,
y'all got a minute.
Bye.
Now, Uncle Charlie, we love you to pieces. Yesterday you went a little too long, but we're gonna give you a minute to redeem yourself because you, Charlie, we love you here, right? But everybody got a minute on clock game. So if y'all will get to your point, we're doing all right. We love y'all to pieces. We got to get Will out of here in 8 minutes, 7 really, because after the show we got to recap for 1 minute because that's just what me and him do. So we got to get up out of here in 6 minutes. All right, let's play a little bit of clock game. We're gonna start. All right, we got to get out of here in 4 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna start with Damon, and we're gonna give him a minute. Then we're gonna run down the clock. We're gonna see what everybody got to say. It just happened to be a short show today. I apologize. Damon, what up?
What's up, man? Just grinding like bad breaks.
I got you, bro. What's good? What you got for the show?
Not too much, man. I'm gonna keep it short. So 2 things that I want y'all to look at when you get to training camp, man.
Yep.
Number 1, I want to know if there's any more pre-snap motion, if Kellen Moore is like changing things up as far as the looks. And then number 2, I wanted to know who is that main inside linebacker when they're lining up in base, especially with the Micah situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3, I just want to know what I would do is I have the refs call everything a little bit tighter as far as the offensive line and defensive line during this training camp,
sure,
so that they can really, really get into the technique mode and you know what I'm saying, and try to cut down on some of those penalties in season. So I would like to see our referees during training camp call things super duper tight. That's all I got.
That's a great point. Fantastic. I kind of like that, Will. Still, we get the referees to come in and call it super strict. So by the time, well, Voch, let me shut up because that's my time. All right, Voch, shut up. Let's get Don Trail on the phone. See what he's talking about. Don Trail, what up?
Voch, what's good? What's good, Will?
Cool and player. What you got for the show?
Make this quick. I'm on a minute. All right, check this out. Yo, I think Skip Bayless is the worst thing to ever happen to the casual football fan. It has them talking real stupid nowadays when they repeat him.
Yes, sir.
So I'm looking at it like, yo, I think this can be a real good thing what happened with James Washington. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I was debating with somebody on the Twitter sphere today who told me Dak only put up 37 touchdowns last year because he had 3 number 1 wide receivers. I mean, I don't know when Cedric Wilson became number 1. I guess that made him look that good, but whatever. So now that we just sitting with CD and a bunch of guys, if Dak go out and do the same thing, I think that's what's going to get his respect on the map. People going to know who Dak Prescott is for real.
No, let me tell you something.
No, it ain't.
Unless he win a Super Bowl, they're not going to care
about to say,
nothing about
dog.
that. Dak Prescott going to go out there and throw for 6,000 yards. You're like, well, but he didn't win a playoff game.
Yeah.
He didn't win a Super Bowl. So, like, it's nothing that's going to get people off Dak. But
Playoff
actually
success,
being,
Will.
well, okay, what's our time? I got to shut up on that point. I got to shut up. Appreciate you, bro.
This ain't gonna be no damn minute.
This ain't gonna be a minute. Danny gonna be like, good call. All right. We got Daniel on the phone, and it's very peculiar. Danny only gets 60 seconds, but let's see how he pulls this one off.
Clock game doesn't count for me, but I'm more out of respect.
Shit.
Out of respect.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it short.
Right.
Like Tristan Hill's manhood.
Right.
I'll make a statement, then a question. You're not gonna see Tyler Smith pancake Big Country, because I was high on Big Country September, October, November, December, January, February, and you can ask my boy Sky.
Yeah.
He won't pancake him. Now here's my question for you, Voch.
The pancake everybody.
Because the guru name comes from fantasy.
Oh,
You're in a $1,000 12-man or 10-man league. You're saying TP is one of the best. Where do you draft him? $1,000 a person, 12-man league.
I ain't drafted
Where
it.
would you draft him to?
I ain't drafted that motherfucker early. I'm gonna see if I can steal him late.
You just said he was one of the best in the NFL.
I know what I said.
Now you're gonna.
All right, Danny, that's our time. I gotta stop the music. I just gotta get you up out of here, yo. I appreciate it, Danny. Listen, Daniel, I love TP, but if fantasy football and money on the line, I gotta operate things a little different. TP will be one of the best running backs in the league, but that don't mean I'm drafting him like Jonathan Taylor drafted him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's level still. And then let's get Uncle Charlie on the phone. What up, Chuck?
Hey, what's happening, y'all? I know I made a mistake yesterday, and I want to apologize to you too, bro.
You good?
I just want to get that out.
This is your house just as much as it is ours. You ain't got to apologize. You just went a little long yesterday, but you ain't got to apologize for nothing, man. You good? This your house too, man. I'm your nephew. You good? Tiger, my cousin. Okay, I can say something. Tiger, my cousin. I can say something. Go ahead, on. You good?
Appreciate it. Let me say that because I got 1 minute.
You do got a minute.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
The reason the Cowboys haven't been successful in the last years is because Steve Jarrett won't stay off the field. You keep a guy with a torn ACL and pay him millions of dollars when you clearly Cedric Wilson outplayed Gallup. They should have signed Cedric Wilson to a new contract. Somebody tell me from that statement the other day that Uncle Charles, you crazy, you stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. And I tell them you be very well right. But I'm saying, meaning if I do something wrong, I know better. The thing is, do you? I'm going to say this. Stay off the field, Jerry and Steven. This is why we're not winning, because you won't get off the field. Let me say this, then close it. A lot of people do things for fame. A lot of people do things to be a legend. A lot of people do things for the money. And I believe in legends because they exist. But they had a guy out there at Waterworld, trained whales for 30 years, and he was a legend, yes. But then they brought one big-ass killer whale in there, and he settled him and killed him. And why did he kill him? Because he never trained a killer whale. Is he still a legend? Yes. But his ass is still dead, though. That damn David Koresh out there said he was Jesus. And 3 weeks later, he came out of lens crafters with some glasses on. Know what's real and what's not real. And be you. That's all I got to say, bro. Appreciate y'all.
I don't. I actually paused your time, Mo, because you know what I'm saying, because you got privilege around here. But we'll still. I was looking at the clock. I was looking at him. I was like, "How you gonna tie this in a bow in 5 seconds?" But he got it done. Shouts out to Matt Owen in the chat box, man. He said this is a house that Uncle Charlie built. Voch just lives in it. All y'all built this motherfucking house, you know what I mean? So I got respect and love for all y'all. Honestly, some for more than more for some than others, but y'all understand what I mean. Y'all understand what I mean? And we got one more before we get up out of here. Marcus Hardison, he says, in matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Damn. My brothers continue to provide righteous content with a certain unmatched grace and flair. Marcus Hardison, appreciate you. So even sticking to tradition when we trying to get up out of here, sticking to tradition, swim like a current and stand like a rock. We like that. Hey, we appreciate y'all today. Hit all the algorithm buttons on the YouTube page, on the Volume YouTube page. Like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Follow me on all my social media platforms, VOCHLOMBARD. I follow Will Steele on all of his, SKYWALKERSTEEELE, and A to Z Dallas in the morning, 8:30-ish. Get there at 8:15 and just sit in the lobby till the show start, and you'll just run into it. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you in Oxnard on the 5th through the 10th, and we'll see y'all tomorrow with another live stream filled with goodness. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Till next time, volume.
Beats Planet.